Hello Atlassian community and welcome to this global virtual event. Reach for the skies, set your enterprise systems up for cloud success. I am Funman Andy, Atlassian community events leader, and today we've got a real treat for you. We have an action-packed agenda for you, and in the next 40 minutes, we're going to show you some really cool use cases using a variety of ways for Atlassian admins to really set up those enterprises and get them firing on all cylinders. And first, I just want to say a big thank you to Gliffy. They are a huge part of our ecosystem. They do a lot of events themselves, and in particular, they're helping by sponsoring this event itself. And I myself was very fortunate to be able to speak at ACE Nashville and ACE Atlanta in person very recently about my business process management experiences at huge enterprises using my Atlassian tools of choice, Confluence and Gliffy. So thank you, Gliffy, for all your sponsorship and being part of our ecosystem. A note on how this format is working today. These are all recorded sessions. So for those of you who want to talk directly with the speakers, sometimes they will be live online and available in the chat for you to ask them questions. However, this is working in harmony with our online community. You are very, very much requested to come and be part of the online community and ask our speakers questions, which they will answer within 1 week. Therefore, please click on the link that is now provided to you in the chat and come join us on the online community, and we'll hang out there for even more Q&A. And that's everything for the introductions. Let's dive into this and get going with our speakers today, who are going to wow you with their use cases and their applications and their use of Atlassian tools for setting up enterprise systems for cloud success.
We as Matagen Zebra are focused in the manufacturing industry in South Africa specifically. We focus to help our clients to develop a full operational system for their company. So we come in and we do process consultation, developing a system architecture that mimics each part of the process steps in manufacturing. Developing a system where they can use software to see what's happening inside their manufacturing facility. So at the moment we use Atlassian systems in order to develop manufacturing software for our clients. We develop a complete operational database for our clients consisting of all of the processes needed within the manufacturing industry. That comprises of the engineering parts of your process, right through the process containing logistics, operations, the manufacturing processes, all the way to final assembly and the logistics of handling that final assembly. So having one source of truth in your operational system really gives our clients the leading edge that they need in the sector. When we go to a client, we not only develop a software system and then leave them alone. We become a partner of our clients. So we consult them on the specific processes that they need within the manufacturing industry. Then we customly develop the software that they need for those processes. So it's not an off-the-shelf system, it's bespokely developed for your system and for your company. At Matagen Zebra, we focus to go to our clients and capture what they are doing within their internal processes. We help them to optimize their processes for a consultation process, developing a system architecture, which then gets built into the operational system and the database that they use for day-to-day tracking for all of the people within one company.
OnTrack Technologies is a development and manufacturing company. So we develop our own products as well as doing development for customers of ours. Jonker Sailplanes gives us the opportunity to develop beautiful gliders like the one in the background here. They do all of the funding for our development, and then we develop all of the technology from aerodynamics to engine system development, instruments, and as well as defining the production processes for them. That's an interesting question, Heinrich. The propeller that you see sticking out of the top of the glider is actually an electrical propulsion unit that was developed specifically for Jonker Sailplanes, and it gives the customer of Jonker Sailplanes the ability to take off on his own, enjoy a wonderful day of gliding, and then come back in the afternoon. Since our partnership with you guys, I've come to realize that without proper data at your fingertips, you're not managing, you're guessing. So since our partnership with you, we've managed to properly plan our projects from development all the way to manufacturing, and we are now capable of guaranteeing project deadlines with almost 100% accuracy. Before the Zebra system, the company was really, I would say, in a mess, to tell you the honest truth. It was not possible for us to get a clear picture day to day of what was happening on the design team, what was happening on our prototyping floor, and also what was happening on our production side. So it was, I would say, impossible to manage all of that easily.
AP, so initially starting off with the project, we started to consult you on your system architecture, standard systems that are in place at the moment, certain workflows through different departments, different people and so forth, consulting on efficiencies in those departments. Then we went through a development phase, and then we started deployment. You had some key insights during the deployment phases. Can you maybe tell us something about it?
I think what worked well in our case is once we decided that we were going to deploy the Zebra system into our company, we really committed to the entire process. So we basically scrapped whatever we had, uploaded everything over to the Zebra system, and did not really give people a choice on what they're going to use in the interim. And that was the key to our successful deployment, and basically running operationally within 3 months.
And I think because of the fact that we focus within the engineering industry in South Africa, we see a lot of clients who might keep the process back and be too scared to go full out. And I think that's where you really surprised us in terms of your internal change management, going flat out, not looking back for a moment.
One of the biggest challenges with deploying any system into a company is the people. Technical problems we can normally solve quite quickly, but working with the people and not against the people is, I think, the best way of implementing a system like this. And you do that quite well.
And I think especially when it comes to change management, because of the fact that your team is so well equipped, software orientated and hardware orientated, it really makes the process faster, quicker and more effective.
Yes, definitely. Another key that I would like to just tell people about is it helps a lot if you understand your own processes a little bit when you start off with the implementation of a new system. Not understanding your own processes might delay the implementation by quite a bit, but you guys facilitate that very well.
So AP, in terms of efficiencies, what has happened to your internal capabilities as a company after developing the Zebra system?
We've got a much better grasp of where our hours are going. So in terms of planning and the planning efficiency of utilizing our resources, our capability has increased 100-fold, with no comparison to what we've had in the past.
How does that tie into your financial structure, given a project or current throughput?
Well, efficiency in our system and in our design philosophy translates directly into efficiency of our financial system. So everything runs more effectively.
Looking at the future of manufacturing, future of gliders in South Africa, and in terms of scalability, momentum is a key aspect. So would you see a long-term partnership with Matajan Zebra in terms of development and developing at a pace that is necessary for you guys?
Yeah, definitely, Heinrich. The pace that you guys set or could keep while we were trying to implement and develop our system was actually quite spectacular. Whenever we wanted to implement changes to the system, your turnaround time was sometimes in hours and mostly within the same day. So that made the implementation of the system very efficient.
So AP, I must say, going through this path of developing a system for you guys operationally, we've been a part of your internal projects as well for quite a while now. We've seen growth, we've seen a lot of exceptional quality coming out of your systems that OnTrack Technologies can provide to your clients. So I must say we are proud to be a part of it, and we are proud to see the manners in which you have grown over the couple of months that we've been a part of your system.
Thank you, Andre. I have to say, by the end of our implementation time, we were really working on a daily basis with one another. It almost felt like something was missing from the company, because we were now running 100% operationally, and we could only meet about once a week, and that was enough. So you were a big part of the company during the development process, and you remain so throughout the implementation phase.
And that is something that we really strive to provide to all of our clients. So we've got developers, and we then appoint a portfolio leader per client to make sure that your needs are catered for each and every day throughout the process.
Yep, that helps a lot. The same reason why you would shoot a 30-06.
Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Vish Reddy. I'm going to be talking to you about strategies for building resiliency into your Atlassian cloud. That's the topic of my presentation today. So let me begin with talking about some of the gaps which exist in any SaaS application, focusing on the data part of your SaaS application. Typically, resiliency issues come up with regards to accidental deletions, malicious changes, data exfiltration, your RTO and RPO objectives not being met, or specific compliance needs which you may have based on the specific industry you're in. Again, this is something which Forrester is calling out. This is a screenshot from the report. You can see the link below. You can access the full report from there. Now, one of the things which is key to understand before we get into what strategies which you may want to implement to build in more resiliency into your Atlassian cloud is in understanding what the shared responsibility model that exists when you use any Atlassian cloud product. And again, this is probably true with any other software as a service which you might be using, be it Office 365, Salesforce, it doesn't matter. The shared responsibilities are similar across most SaaS applications. I think the key thing to take away out here is you as the user or the customer are responsible for who accesses the data in that SaaS application and the data itself, which is residing within that SaaS application. The remaining part of the technology stack, which is the application, the databases, the underlying operating systems, the networks, data center, the physical security, all those are part of the service provider's responsibility. In this case, this would be Atlassian's responsibility. Again, key thing to take away, you're responsible for who has access to the application, in this case, Jira, Confluence, any of the Atlassian applications. And then second part being that you are responsible for the data which is residing within those applications. With that in mind, I think there are three key things which I would like for you to take away. Number one, implement a security practice to protect the endpoints which are accessing the Atlassian cloud. I think this is basic security hygiene. Make sure that the endpoints which your end users are using have the necessary hygiene in them, meaning they are protected by some endpoint security. Known applications are there within that endpoint, so on and so forth. Second, only known users should have access to your site or your Atlassian cloud site. And of course, follow the principle of least privileges for users who have access. You do not have to give everybody all the permissions which are out there. It's only specific users who have site administration access, specific users who have project administration access, and of course, then all the users. And then lastly, have a disaster recovery plan to recover back your data in the event of a disaster. We are going to be focusing more on the disaster recovery aspects in the remaining part of this presentation. Now, there are many varieties of disasters. All disasters are not the same, right? What do I mean by that? For the most part, most of the time, or the most frequent types of disasters are when there is human error involved. Somebody deleted a couple of issues. Maybe they accidentally deleted a workflow which was not being used, or which was being used in either case, or maybe they changed some statuses which affected a whole number of boards and filters and so on and so forth. You might be importing some data, maybe it overwrote it, or as part of that import process, some of the data got corrupted. Of course, there's always the case of malicious deletion. Malicious deletion, something which could occur because of account takeovers, or somebody intentionally went and deleted something. Again, we don't talk about it a lot, but these are things which do happen. Third-party app errors, the app malfunction, and that caused some of your data to be corrupted, and that led to data loss for you. Data breaches, data center breaches, and data center disasters. Now, there are certain types of disasters where the service provider is responsible, and there are certain types of disasters where you as the customer are responsible. And then the data recovery too in each of these scenarios could be very different. When there are bits and pieces, which is what typically happens, a couple of issues deleted, maybe you lost a configuration, maybe you lost a screen. Again, you've not lost your entire site data. It is you've lost, specific pieces of information. This is where, from a recovery perspective, you should have a plan to be able to recover back things your data in a very selective manner. On the other hand, again, very rare, but a real possibility, where an entire disaster, an entire data center went offline, and you want to be able to access your data. That's where you would require a complete or full recovery. Now, typically, in the case of a complete data center disaster, that's something which the SaaS provider will have, many backup mechanisms where you can recover back all your data in a complete and a quick manner. What the SaaS provider would typically not help you with is if you want granular recovery. So keeping that in mind, now I'm going to get into the solution aspect of it, which is where Revise comes in. At Revise, we have built an app which helps you address multiple different use cases, starting off with your disaster recovery and being able to recover your data back in a very granular manner. 4 key use cases: data protection, data management, analysis of your Jira site, and then optimization of your Jira site. From a data protection perspective, the Revise Data Manager for Jira helps you back up and granularly restore all types of Jira projects, including JSM assets. We help you in copying data from one site to another, the most common use case being sandbox to production. Provide you basic analytics, which would be super helpful for you as an administrator. And lastly, helping you optimize your Jira site by helping you identify unused configuration objects and helping you easily delete them. Essentially, think of this as a single app doing multiple things. You can have one app versus n number of additional apps. Let me go through this with or without Revise. If you, again, from a data protection use case perspective, today, if you want to go back up your data, if you don't have Revise in there, then you'll be manually doing your backups. Of course, restore is pretty error prone. You can see the highlighted sections. Again, the screenshot is from from the administration screen in your Jira console itself. And the most important thing to remember is with the backup data set which you get from Atlassian, it is all or nothing, meaning you can restore everything back or nothing, right? It's not granular. With Revise, automatic backups, granular data restores, your experience is native to what you would imagine your Jira workflows, your screens to be. 1-year data retention and unlimited number of backups and restores. Managing your configuration data. One of the things which you would experience when you are working, when you're creating your configuration in your sandbox environment, you would have to recreate it manually in your production environment. Of course, that is error prone, no audit logs, no easy way to revert changes. On the other hand, when you use revise, you could copy over your configuration from your sandbox to your production site, or for that matter, from any site to any other site in an automated and a secure manner with audit trails, including old IDs, new IDs. Those IDs would be really useful for you if you're building automations and so on and so forth. And of course, you can selectively or in a very granular manner move what you want to use from your sandbox to production. And there is no need of learning any new programming language. No, there is no coding out here. You don't have to be a programming expert to use the Revise Data Manager app. Third use case, providing you with basic analytics in my view, right? What are those basic analytics? If somebody deleted an issue, you want an audit trail. Who did it? When they did it? What did they do? Analytics on attachments. Where does an attachment live? How many attachments do you have? What type of attachments do you have? And then again, going back to even more basics, just understanding what is there in your Jira site. How many projects are there? How many issues are there? How many workflows do you have? Again, giving you the lay of the land of your Jira site. And then the last use case which we help address is in optimizing your Jira site. Now, without Revise, of course, you have to go identify things by yourself. You got to manually identify them and delete them. You could also have third-party apps which helps with deletions. One of the big differences being if you accidentally deleted something, unless you have a backup, you can't restore it back. With Revise, we show you clearly what objects are being used, what are not being used. Anything which is deleted accidentally is restorable. You have a clear audit trail, and then a clear way to visualize some of your configuration data. So that's what the Revise Data Manager app is all about. Thank you for your time today, and would love for you to give it a try and give us your feedback. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody and welcome to our 2-day session from Space Tools Pro. We call the app our Swiss Army knife because you can speeding up your content management in Confluence Cloud with Space Tools Pro. How that works? You can copy, create, move and delete spaces, pages and page trees in just one central location. Therefore, I would like to show you what you can do in our exclusive demo. Welcome to the app presentation of Space Tools Pro for Confluence Cloud. As soon as you open the app, you are directly in the heart of the app called Space Navigator. Here you can do all the actions regarding spaces and pages. If you want to select a space, go to the gray field, a drop-down menu opened, and there you can select one or multiple spaces. You click out of the field and then the selected spaces are loaded. If you hover over a space, you see 3 dots and a plus. You can open the More Action menu and there you can see what you can all do with that space. You can open it, edit, you can create a page or a page from a template. You can copy the whole space, rename it, delete it, and if you click on Expand All Pages, you see all the pages below that space. You can do the same reverse, go to Collapse All Pages, and then it's closed again. If you need a new space in your Confluence, go to the Create Space button, click it, and then just type in, for example, marketing. The space key is generated automatically. The description is optional. You click on Create, and on the fly, a new space with the name marketing is created. If you want to reuse an existing space, you have the opportunity to say, please copy the space. For example, you want to reuse the template project management space, go and copy, type in the new space name from Space Tools Pro project, Tools Pro. You see the space key is also generated. You have the options for content and permissions. Click on copy, and now the template project management space will be copied one-to-one to the new space, what is called Project Space Tools Pro. And here it is. And if you expand all pages, for example, here, you see that both spaces are totally the same. What you can do next is you can do several options to pages. For example, you would like to have a new page under marketing. Then you just have to click the plus sign. You see a new page was created. Just type in, for example, team, hit the enter button, and then a new page team was created. If you want to have the sub page under team, you mark it, you click the plus sign, and then you can see who's my team leader. You enter the enter button, and then the page is created. As I just mentioned, you also have the opportunity to create a page from a template. So go to the more action menu and say create page from a template. For example, you would like to write down your OKRs, write in the page name, and then you have the chance to select a template. For example, OKRs, there they are. Select the template, and then you click on create, and then the new page OKRs from template is created. If you hover over it, go to the more action, open it, and then you see it's not an empty page. You got the template OKR directly in that page. What you can do also is, for example, you need some pages from another space which you want to reuse. For example, from the Space Tools Pro page, you want to have documentation also in your marketing space. Then you just can mark it, and then you have the chance to copy a page. For example, documentation, the target space should be marketing, selected, and the parent page should be team, and the prefix that you know that this is a copy should be copy. You click the copy button, and after a few seconds, you see the documentation page is copied from Space Tools Pro to the marketing space. If you want to move a page from one space to another, because with Space Tools Pro, you can move pages across spaces. You can do it two ways. The first one is you can go over the move button, or you can do it like drag and drop. You take the documentation and say, I would like to have it in the template. And there you see the app is working. And now the documentation page was moved from Space Tools Pro to template project management. So these are all single actions. What you can do as well is, for example, if you mark more than one page and then you click the action, you see bulk operations. You can open the selected pages, you can edit them, you can copy, delete, or move them, and you got the chance of restrictions that you can do in bulk and in single action. So for example, if you say the team leader page from marketing should be only for the team leader, then you can say, I would like to restrict them. For example, just the view access are the admins, administrator. You just type it in, administrators, and you see edit access. It's just me in that moment, and you say save. And now you got restriction on that page. What's new from our new release, you can see it if you just mark them. You see last edit by Dave Winch, that's me, and you see the timestamp and the date. So everybody knew one was the last time that somebody edited that page. To the end, I can say what you can do as well. If you don't need a space anymore, for example, your project Space Tools Pro is done and you don't need that space anymore to clean up your Confluence, go to the three dots and say delete the space. A notification opened, want you to delete it, you click on the delete button, and after a few seconds, your project Space Tools Pro space is deleted. So that was everything regarding our app Space Tools Pro. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. So here's the summary of where you can browse all the available content. You can use drag and drop. You can reorder pages in a single space, and you can move pages across spaces. Here you are all the actions which you can do with spaces. You can create them on the fly. You have the opportunity of bulk actions. You can copy an entire space. You can rename or delete it. And if you want, you can set a new homepage with just a single click. Your options regarding pages are that you can create new pages or pages from a template. You can expand and collapse them. You can do bulk actions, set restrictions, you can copy pages and entire page trees, you can move them across spaces with drag and drop or the move on the fly. So thank you very much for your attention, and for your thank you, we would like to offer you a 50% discount on Space Tools Pro, our Swift Army knife. If you are interested in, just send an email to me. Here are my contact data. I'm Dave Wünsch, the partner manager at Decadis. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hi, my name is Lorenzo Phillips. I am the president, CEO, and founder of Runware Inc. I am also the author of the Instance Auditor Marketplace apps. And today I'm going to show you how to use those apps to get your instances sparkling clean. Before cleaning up, let's understand what's in your instance. You can do this by accessing the Overview dashboard, which contains cards of information for a variety of areas within Jira. Hover over each card to see the boundaries that have been set for that specific area. Green indicates no cleanup required, yellow indicates consider cleanup, and red indicates cleanup recommended. Once you understand exactly what's in your instance, the next step is to access the various tabs and make your selections for cleanup. Here, we are on the Active Projects tab. I will make a few selections of projects and send those to the archive area. I will repeat the process and send another set of projects to the trash bin. To see the results, access the appropriate tab and click the refresh button. And while this is meant to be a quick tutorial to just show you how you can just quickly go in, see what's in your instance, go to the appropriate tab, quickly make your selections and delete the items that you want to delete. I will also now cover some of the cool features of the tool. So this button ribbon here, these first two buttons are the select all for a page and the expand and collapse all for a page. The next set of buttons do the same thing, but they do it for all of the data in the table versus just the page. The eyeball button is really cool when you have a very, very, very large instance and you make your selections throughout many, many pages. You can click the eyeball and it will take all of your selections, consolidate them into a single view so that you don't have to try to go back through and say, okay, now where did I make my selections at? Oh, there's one. So that's a very nifty feature as well. The next set of buttons are around copying the data in the table to the clipboard, exporting to a CSV file, exporting to Excel, exporting to a PDF file, or printing directly to a printer. Finally, this button controls the column toggling. So if we want to do an export, of course, these first three rows, they're not really data, they're kind of table specific. So if you do an export of these rows, they'll either come out in an image format or they'll be blank. So rather than deal with that headache, you can go ahead and just deselect them, do your export, and get a nice clean export into Excel. You'll notice Instance Auditor Confluence has the same look and feel as Instance Auditor Jira. This ensures that the learning curve is kept to a minimum and you can easily transition between the two apps. Just like Instance Auditor Jira, we are on the Global Spaces page and can make our selections as so. On the Space Details tab, you can select any of your spaces from the drop-down and get detailed information about the space. Here, we are looking at a particular space, and we can see that we have 4 total pages, 3 child pages, 2 attachments, and the size of those attachments in the space. Down here in the table, you will notice that we are giving you the information of the attachment size on the specific pages. And there it is. The Instance Auditor apps will help you assess, clean, and optimize your Jira and Confluence instances quickly and easily. And with your help, they will only get better. So go out to the marketplace today, download the apps, and join the cleanup revolution. And by the way, be sure to reach out to Fundman Andy as well. Get your promo and discount codes today for yourselves to use internally and for your customers. I look forward to working with you and getting your feedback. And again, thank you for your time.
And that's everything from our speakers today. Thank you, speakers, for being part of you today. One final thank you again for our ecosystem in general. A big thank you to our ACE leaders from Austin, Rotterdam, and thank you, attendee, viewer, for being part of our community. If you want to get involved even more, there's a mix of in-person, hybrid, and virtual. And if you want to get more and more involved online, always come to community.atlassian.com, where you can find support. You can hang out with other peers, discussions, articles, questions, you name it. It's all going down online. That's it from me. Thank you once again, and good luck with setting up your enterprise systems for cloud success. Funman out.
All right, that was a good presentation, Andy. I think your video editing skills have definitely gone to the next level.
I tell you something, that's the rushed version when I was panicking yesterday to put it all together. So hopefully the next one will be better. Will be a bit more. Yeah, I had no time to edit the sound levels and stuff like that, so it was a bit clunky and all over the place. So yeah, but yeah.
We'll upload this recording on the Atlassian community Delhi-Gurgaon channel, and I'll share the link with the people on the WhatsApp group so that they'll be able to see it. If they have any question, we'll ask them to directly reach out to the speakers, and most importantly, we'll ask them to redirect to the community post so that we can get a conversation going there.
Sounds like a good plan. Thank you all. And next time, let's do this on the Saturday. I'm always up for waking up early morning on a Saturday to come join you people. So
perfect. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sanket. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great evening.
Thank you.